Everybody, come on in. We are celebrating Cheslie Kryst's birthday. And so we are going to have a discussion about Cheslie Kryst. And also we're going to talk about mental health and some tips. So come on in before we get started. I'm not going to be on here too long, guys. But I just wanted to honor Cheslie Kryst today. So as everybody knows, today is our lovely, beloved Cheslie Kryst's birthday. So I thought I would come on here and do a mental health talk discussion just for us to all have an open platform to talk about mental health. Today was a very hard day for me. I'm going to be very honest. It was so hard because, knowing that today's Cheslie Kryst's birthday and celebrating her birthday, it really just brought so much sadness to me knowing that she's gone, because she was truly someone I looked up to and loved so much. And it was so hard today. It was really hard getting through work. It was hard seeing all the posts. It just was very difficult to know that Cheslie's gone. And if anybody else loved Cheslie as much as I do, I know you guys probably had a tough day today too. So I wanted to do this live to honor her, and I wore this beautiful crown because I actually bought this crown. This crown was Cheslie Kryst's favorite crown in the whole wide world when she won Miss USA. She loved this crown. In fact, Cheslie Kryst loved this crown so much that she bought a replica of it. And little did I know that I was going to actually wear this on her birthday. I didn't even realize I would. But I had purchased a replica of the Miss USA crown a while ago, and I only purchased it for the purpose of manifesting the empowerment and the confidence in myself, because I am myself competing for a national title this year. And so I purchased a replica of this crown a while ago so that I could just wear it to know how it feels to win a national title, to basically as a form of affirmation and manifestation of what I envisioned. But then I thought, hey, I have this crown and I know Cheslie Kryst loved this crown. And since we're celebrating her birthday, I thought I'd wear it today. So we are going to honor her today. We're going to talk about some current events of what we know what's happening right now in her family. And then we're going to talk about some tips about how we can maintain our mental health, because I know Cheslie would really want us to talk about that. That was a topic that she talked about a lot when she was alive, to try to encourage us to maintain our mental health. And I believe the reason why she focused so much on that was because she was suffering in silence, but she also knew that it was important for us to recognize the importance of maintaining our mental health on a daily basis. A lot of times, some of us understand the importance of maybe eating healthy or exercising. You hear about that all the time. But a lot of us don't really hear the importance and the emphasis on maintaining our mental health. And maintaining our mental health is a daily practice. It's something that you should be focusing on every day, especially in America. Unlike other countries, in America, we pretty much work all the time. We don't have time to sit down and just relax at home. A lot of us just work. By the time we get home, we're exhausted. We got to cook dinner. If you have kids, you got to cook meals for your kids. You got to, get your kids ready for the next day. You got to help your kids with their homework. It's just all these activities. And most times we don't have time to rest. And that's what was happening in Cheslie Kryst's life. And we're going to get into Cheslie Kryst's life. But let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about what's going on in her life, and not in her life, but what's going on in her family's life right now. But one of the things that was what was going on in Cheslie Kryst's life, one of the factors was that she was so overworked. And she struggled so much, many years, being bombarded with being overworked. In fact, it was so much for her in law school that she ended up in the hospital for 8 days. And then, unfortunately, when she graduated and became a lawyer and eventually passed the bar and eventually became Miss USA, she kept on that same busy schedule. But on top of that, there were family struggles. There were struggles with age and beauty and acceptance in society. And then, we hear about that being such a huge emphasis. And I talked a little bit a couple days ago about Kevin Samuels, and individuals like him emphasize that the older you get, the less value you have in society. And so when you hear certain things like that emphasized online and people watch things like that, and Cheslie was very much always online. You know, she had a very huge following online, and so she was bullied online. She had people constantly harassing her about her age and telling her she was too old and different things like that. That took so much weight on her mental health, and she felt she just kind of gave up, unfortunately. So, and she did do a lot, sadly. She did a lot to try to maintain her mental health, but I think it became a part where she broke down so much that she stopped maintaining her health and just gave up. It's like she just stopped everything. She stopped going to her therapist. She stopped, seeking God in prayer. She just stopped. So let's talk about some things we can do in our life, and then we'll talk about some current events that are going on in Cheslie's family right now. So here's some tips. First tip is monitor the things you look at online, and don't watch too many things online. One of the things is, number one, current events can lead to a lot of depression. And I'll tell you, in my own experience, preparing for this national pageant I'm in, we have to look at current events. So I had to watch the news a lot. Like every day I had to watch the news. So things I had to watch: the war in Ukraine and all the other crimes going on and everything, in politics. And I noticed as I was watching these current events every day, I started to become depressed. It started weighing on me. I mean, I found myself up middle of the night, depressed and worried about people in Ukraine and all these different current events. And I realized that I needed to take a step back because it was impairing my mental health. So social media, news, current events, if you become so immersed in the problems of society to the point where you don't maintain balance and you don't recognize sometimes that it is impairing your mental health, it can wreak havoc on your mental health on top of other factors. So sometimes you need to balance and monitor and censor the things that you're looking at on a daily basis. And if you know that it's beginning to affect you emotionally, take a step back, take a break from social media, go for a walk. A nice, beautiful walk in nature can really help you with stress, with anxiety, worry, depression. And that's something I do. I do daily walks. I love to go to beautiful sceneries, like beautiful parks and beautiful places, rose gardens, and just walk. And it just really is very relieving. So one thing, start out with, take a step back from social media. That was one of the areas that Cheslie struggled with because she was bullied so much online. Constantly there's societal pressures and all of that. One of those factors really wreaked havoc on our poor Cheslie. Another thing, balance your life out. As I talked about, in America, we are constantly encouraged to chase the American dream, chase all these accolades. And in reality, it's never enough. No matter what you achieve in life, you're always going to be chasing the next accolade. So sometimes you need to take a step back. You need to do a self-assessment. You need to go to God in prayer. Having a relationship with God is very important too. I'll talk about that a little later. But going to God in prayer and really assessing, okay, what are the things going on in my life, and am I balanced? If you feel like you are overwhelmed, you might need to cut back on some things. That's what I had to do in my life recently, guys, and be a little vulnerable. I had to cut back on some things. I had to take some things out of my schedule because it was becoming too much. So you may have to take some things out of your schedule. If something is not making you happy, then don't do it anymore. You have to, if a job is not making you happy, start looking for another job. Stay at that job, but look for another job. And once you secure a better job, get you another job. And that's what Cheslie did in her life. But again, there was a lot of other factors that we talked about in all my other videos. I did like 10 videos on her. So you have to go back to all those videos if you want to know all the analysis. But there were still lots of other issues that were going on. Another thing that we need to talk about, toxic, unhealthy relationships. We didn't get into the toxicity of Cheslie's family. Okay, but that was an issue in her life. Her biological father mentioned it. And if you've been watching my videos, there was a current DV allegation against one of the brothers. And I don't know what caused him to act the way that he acted, but there is some indications that there is something going on in that family that could be leading to some mental health concerns. So if you notice that maybe it's a family member, friends, anybody in your life that is wreaking havoc on your mental health, you need to set boundaries in those relationships. If you feel like, okay, hanging out with my mom, for example, is too much for me, then take a step back and limit your time around your mother. Like, go and take her places that she needs to go, or meet with her to do what she needs to do, but limit the time that you have around her. That's just an example. Whoever it is, it could be even a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship. If you know that it is affecting and impairing your mental health, you need to set up boundaries in those relationships. You need to go into God in prayer, write out a list of things that you're going to do to set up boundaries. And I can give you an example. For my situation, my situation was with my mom. I talked to you guys about my mom, that I was, in abusive childhood. And so when I grew up, my mom was still being abusive, but more so emotional. So I set up boundaries in my relationship with her, that I limit my time with her, and I'm not with her every single day. I'm like, okay, I will be around her if she needs to go grocery shopping or a doctor appointment or things like necessities, but I'm not going to be around her all the time because I need to protect my mental health. So sometimes you got to put up boundaries in your life in certain relationships. And that is something Cheslie struggled with, because Cheslie was a caregiver. Cheslie, what I would define her as, is a humanitarian. She did everything for everyone else. And that's why she became extremely burnt out and emotionally drained, because she took care of everyone else's health. She took care of everyone else's well-being in terms of society, all the organizations she was in to benefit, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, all the different organizations she was in. So she was benefiting humanity. She took care of all her family members. She took care of all her friends. She took care of everyone else, and she neglected herself. And when she neglected herself, it was what took the emotional toll on her. So that's what I would have to say, is you need to set up boundaries. Even though if you're a type of sweet, loving, caring, humanitarian type of personality like Cheslie, who wants to change the world, you have to set up boundaries and try to change yourself, care for yourself, set up some time to love yourself, hug yourself, spend time with yourself. You have to take those times back and set up certain boundaries if you know that it's becoming so much for you. So that is something we can learn from Cheslie. And I believe if Cheslie's here, she would talk to us about, because she did talk to her coworker before about him balancing his life out. So I know that was something very, very much important to her. And she wanted to get the word out to her coworker. So I know she would want to get it out to the whole world if she was here today, to say, take care of yourself at times too. I know that maybe there's a lot of people out there who love to take care of their kids, take care of their husband, take care of their parents, take care of everybody else, but then they end up neglecting themselves. And that can wreak a lot of havoc on your mental health. Another thing, this should have actually been number one, guys. I don't know why I put it here, but you need to have a relationship with God, and you need to have a Bible-believing church to go to, because your spiritual walk with Christ is very important. A lot of the attacks we deal with is spiritual. And it's from the enemy, Satan. He comes into the mind, and he will constantly torment you with thoughts. And the thing that's scary about Satan is he knows everything about you. He knows you from birth. He was there from when you were born, all the struggles you went through. So it's like he knows the buttons he can push in your mind to torment you. And so you need to have that prayer life. You need to have scriptures, handy that you can pray over your life. And I talk about the flashcards. Let's see if I have my flashcards here. But I talk about the flashcards, writing out flashcards of scriptures that you can use on a daily basis to take authority of those bad thoughts. And then you need a Bible-believing church and a prayer-believing pastor, friends that you can go to. So if you're having a struggle, you can talk to those friends to pray with you and intercede for you. So you need that spiritual support and that spiritual walk and prayer life that you can battle the enemy. And you need to know the word of God, because there's times when you will be home alone. You won't have your therapist there. You won't have your friends there. You're not going to have your family members there. Sometimes you may not, your husband might be asleep if you're married, or your kids in the bed. It might just be you up at night, stressed and depressed. And so the only person that you will have at that time is God. So if you don't know his word, and if you don't have a relationship with him, then what do you really have in those times when you are alone and you are vulnerable? You need to have that relationship with God. Okay? Another key factor is get a therapist. Here's a key tip about getting a therapist. You need to shop around for the right fit for you. Okay? Just because someone has the credentials doesn't mean you automatically just retain them. When you go to different therapists, when you find your therapist, go to different therapists first and find the right one that fits you. And what I mean by that is someone that is empathetic to the things that you're talking about, you can tell that they're actually listening to you, and they're listening to you, and they show that they care. And the way you can tell they're listening to you is because they'll be able to repeat back some of the concerns you're saying when they end up giving their assessment. If they're not even able to do that, and if they're cutting you off, then like while you're trying to speak, and you can feel their energy that they're not really trying to show empathy for you, then that's probably not the right person for you. So you need to find someone that truly cares about you, cares about the concerns, that are empathetic, and that truly wants to give you the right, treatment that you need. And so you might have to shop around a little bit until you find that right match where you will feel comfortable with that person, okay? So definitely find a therapist. Another thing I would say is try to find fun things to do that you love. So one thing I would say is incorporate daily exercise into your schedule. Go for daily walks. You can find things you love to do. Go to the gym. Go to a swim class if you love to swim, or swim if you have a pool at your house. Go do a swim. Do dance classes. I love dance classes. You can do rock climbing, hiking, something active, bike riding, something active to get you going. It really helps get those endorphins going, and it can help with anxiety and stress. And I just got back from the gym. That's why I have gym clothes on. So I know you're like, what is she wearing? I just got back from the gym, guys. So I'm always in the gym because I have a very busy schedule. I am an attorney. I work 10 hours a day. I'm always busy. So I try to, after work, I go to the gym. I do dance classes, weightlifting classes, all kinds of classes, or just, go for a walk. If I'm not going to the gym, I'll do a nice, beautiful walk outside in the beautiful sunlight to get my vitamin D. So find something active to get you active. You can also go, if you're ladies out there, get pampered, go get a pedicure or a manicure. Light a candle. There's some beautiful scents that you can light around the house that build your mood up. You can also get a Himalayan salt lamp. Himalayan salt lamps are really good for anxiety, stress. I hear they're also good for sleep, but if you guys know about that, you can order one of those online and get those. They're really good to use as well for anxiety and stress. Find a way to speak and discuss the pain that you're dealing with. I know that some of us have that strong exterior, but you need to be able to get it out. So journal your thoughts, journal your concerns, and also, even though you speak to your therapist, but you also need a friend or someone you can talk to about your concerns too. So if you don't have a friend like that, you can do it in prayer, because I talk to God a lot of times about my concerns. I go to prayer and I tell him what I'm going through and I journal it. Or you can find a friend that you can trust that is actually empathetic. If you have a friend that's belittling you and it's like, oh, don't worry about it, get over it, that's not the person you want to talk to. You want to talk to someone who's willing to listen to your concerns, who is empathetic about it, and who's just there to care and just be there to hear what you need to say. Not someone that's dismissive. If they're dismissive, don't talk to that person again about your concerns. Just say, okay, this is not a person I need to talk to about my concerns, because this person doesn't care, clearly. If you don't have anyone in your life that you can talk to besides your therapist, then like I said, journal it and have a prayer life, because that's definitely what I do when I have concerns. I personally go to God in prayer, or if I have a friend, I'll talk to them. And then, if you have your therapist, but you need different outlets, not just solely dependent on your therapist. And the reason why I said, in addition to your therapist, have someone to talk to, or journal it and have a prayer life as well with your relationship with God, is because your therapist is not always going to be there. There may be times you have to set up an appointment with your therapist, right? And who knows if your therapist is booked with other clients. So then you have to wait, 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to get into the therapy session. So it's might as well, or some people are lucky they can get therapy every week, but still, you may not have that therapy right there every day. But what if Saturday you need someone to talk to and your therapist is not there? So that's why I was saying you also need a friend. But if you don't have a friend, then you can pray to God and talk to him about it. You can journal it. You can talk to your fellow faith believing. I would definitely recommend, if you're going through a struggle, talk to someone who is a believer like you. Someone who has faith, because they can intercede for you. They can quote scriptures. They can, even if you're a new believer and you don't know scriptures, you can go to someone at your church, like you have a friend. That's why I said you need to find a Bible believing church that you really feel comfortable in, because then you need to start joining ministries and you build friendships in those churches. And so if you're going through a tough time, you can talk to your friend and say, look, I'm having a tough time. I'm feeling really depressed. I'm going through this, and this. Can you please help me? And I'm telling you, they will pray with you. They will give you scriptures that you can use. They will really be there for you, to care for you and to give you the guidance you need. So you definitely need those outlets. And another thing is, don't feel ashamed if you're depressed or if you're feeling hopeless. Don't allow society's lies to tell you that, your concerns don't matter. They do matter. They do matter. Like I said, you can use these different tools that I'm giving you. These are all tools that I use in my own life that really have helped me. It truly, I can say sincerely, I'm speaking from the heart. That's why I don't need any notes or anything, because I'm speaking to you from the heart of what I do in my personal life and what I've learned to help. And I recognize the thing is, you got to really recognize when you're having a mental health, um, you're having a mental health outbreak or downbreak. Like if you're breaking down mentally, you have to be able to recognize that. You know when you feel depressed, you know when you feel like it's too much for you to bear, and you need to do a setback. That's why it's important to do a mental health maintenance. Mental health maintenance means you are constantly working on mental health every single day. So that's like I said, doing daily exercise if that's something. You can do meditation. Also, you can get massages. There's so many. The list is just insurmountable. Also, too, if you're just having a tough day, here's a key tip that I don't think you ever know about. Just hug yourself. I'm telling you guys, it's so, what is the right word? It just feels so comforting. You can just, I know it sounds weird. Don't think I'm weird, but I'm telling you, just try it. Try it tomorrow, okay? Try it tomorrow if you have a rough day and you're tired. Just hug yourself and say, it's going to be okay. You got this. You got this in Jesus' name. And I'm telling you, it feels so comforting. It really does. I know it sounds weird, but I'm telling you, I've been doing it and it has really felt so comforting. Because like I said, sometimes you have to encourage yourself in the Lord because you may not always have anyone around at all the time to be there for you. So that's why I'm giving you different tools. And I hope you took notes, different tools that you can use if you may not have your therapist there, or if you may not have your friend there. You got to have that spiritual relationship. That's why I said there's different tools you use on a daily basis to keep working on that mental health. Okay, guys? All right, let's see what you guys are saying. And then we will, because this is supposed to be a discussion with all of us, and then we'll talk a little bit about Cheslie. Oh, yeah, this is Cheslie's favorite crown. Brenda. Wait, did Brenda say that? Yeah, this is Cheslie's favorite crown. But I was telling you guys earlier in the live that I had purchased this a while ago because I'm preparing for a national pageant competition that's in August. So pray for me, guys, please. So it's been tough working on it. So I do a lot of affirmations to empower myself and build up my confidence and manifest, the title. And I bought this crown a while ago just so that I can wear it so I can know what it feels like to be crowned if I won a national title. To be like, oh. But then I realized this is Cheslie Kryst's favorite crown. And I was like, today's her birthday, so why don't I just wear it for the live? So I just thought, hey, I'll just wear it for the live because it's in honor of Cheslie Kryst, because this was her favorite crown in the world. If you go to her TikTok, she loved this crown. She had different videos on her TikTok about this crown. And she ended up purchasing a replica of it because she loved it so much. And I got a replica of it too. So yeah, let's see. Yes, because it is about the relationship between you and the person you're able to connect with. Exactly, Brenda. Staying active, doing things you love. Exactly, Brenda. You got it. Mood enhancers around your home bring peaceful energy. Yes, mood enhancers. So you can use different herbs, or they have those different scents. You guys know what I'm talking about, the different scents. What is this one that I have here? Lavender. I use lavender too. Lavender is really good for anxiety, and I have a very stress-inducive type job being an attorney. So I have this on my desk, and I just smell it, and it really helps. It also helps you to go to sleep too. If you have insomnia and you have a hard time sleeping, get you some lavender. There's all kinds of different stuff like these that can help you with anxiety. So that's a good one. Yeah, get some mood enhancers around the house. Yes, that can talk about deep things regarding the heart and a very good friend. Yes, Brenda, you do need that other outlet, because like I said, your therapist is not always going to be there at every single beck and call. So I was saying you need to also have that outlet with a friend, your relationship with God. You need different outlets in different times in your life, different days in your life when you may not have certain sources at your leisure. You need to have, okay, I don't have my friend here today. Okay, I need to go pray to God then. I need to write in my journal. I need to, quote my scriptures. Okay, I don't have my therapist today. I could talk to my friend Kelly. She's here. You know what I mean? So you need to have different things, different sources available at your your basically at your availability if you're having an emotional outbreak. And you need to be able to, like I said, maintain your mental health is a daily practice. This is not something you do when it's getting to the point where you can't bear it anymore and you're just so depressed and low. You have to do it every single day. It's a daily practice to find different things that you can do. Okay, let's see. Hi, Queen B. Hi. Yeah, we're celebrating Cheslie's birthday. We're doing an mental health discussion. Rest in peace. The Holy Spirit will give you an inner peace and joy. That is how I survive. Yes, Queen B. Yes, you have to have a relationship. That's like I was talking about, one of the most important parts is having a relationship with God. So it's very important. Cheslie Kryst did have a relationship with God, but like I was telling you guys before, she did talk about her schedule. I know her mom talks about her praying and staying in the Word, but I mean, she talked a lot about her schedule, and she didn't mention prayer or reading the Word or stuff like that. And also I know that when she talks about her testimony at her church, she talked about how she struggled with hearing God's voice, and that can be because when you're not spending that daily time with Him, then you do kind of feel separated from Him, and you're not able to really hear Him as clearly as normally. Another thing too, she was in New York, so her church home was all the way back home, and there was no indication that she had a church in New York. So again, she had that separation from the body of Christ. The body of Christ was so far away from her, so she couldn't go to church. Like I was telling you, have that Bible believing church. She couldn't go to church to have someone to pray with her or have her church family there to talk to her. They were all in North Carolina, and she was all the way in New York. So like I said, even if you have to move, you need to find a Bible believing church, because you need to have those friends, spiritual friends there, who can recognize when the enemy is attacking you mentally, and they can stand in the gap and pray against those spirits. And I'll tell you an example, because at my I have a lot of friends at my church that I lean on. So I was having a rough day at work one day, and it was so much for me. And all I did was quickly text my friend and say, hey, can you please pray for me? I'm having a tough day with such and such and such. And she started immediately standing in the gap. She called me up, standing in the gap, started praying scriptures. She gave me the scriptures. She was speaking out the scriptures against the situation I was dealing with. And it really uplifted my spirit, and it empowered me. And I carried on throughout the day. So that's what I was saying. When you got to have those sources there and have those spiritual tools there that can help you through those rough times. Okay, like a diffuser. Yes, that's what it is, Brenda. I was trying to figure out the right word. Yes, a diffuser, and you put lavender. You can put that's the best way to do it, is get a diffuser and put lavender in it, because it shoots it out, and you can smell it. Because this is really good. Look it up, you guys. Do like a quick Google search of the benefits of lavender as it relates to anxiety and different things, and you'll see that it really does help. Queen Bee, that's so true. It does. Yeah, about the Holy Spirit. Yes. You got to have Holy Spirit. Very, very essential. Yeah, but you can screen it online. Yeah, you can. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Cheslie's family. So this part is so sad, guys, but I'm gonna share it. It's from April. Well, so basically they were thanking on her Facebook. April was thanking Darla Moore School of Business for honoring Cheslie with the Distinguished Young Alumni Award. So Cheslie in 2019, I believe it was. Let me see in the notes. Yeah, in 2019, Cheslie knew that she was going to get this award. So that's the beautiful part about it. She got it this year after she passed away. But the beautiful part about it was she was told that she was going to get this beautiful recognition, the Distinguished Young Alumni Award. They were going to do the ceremony in 2020, but then COVID happened, so they had to push it to March 2022. So we already know she passed away by then. So, but when she was told she was going to get this amazing Distinguished Young Alumni Award, she was so ecstatic, and she was, her beautiful, bubbly self. She was so humbled, and she was so elated, and she told her mom about it, and everyone. She's like, I want all of you guys to be there and attend, with me. So they all went to, in March of this year, they all went to attend the award ceremony for Cheslie when she won this Distinguished Young Alumni. It's just so sad because, they were all there and Cheslie wasn't there. But this is the update. So I'll read what her mom posted, and I'll show you the pictures, okay? So April says, thank you to Darla Moore School of Business for honoring Cheslie with the Distinguished Young Alumni Award. Cheslie knew in 2019 that she was the recipient of this prestigious award, the Darla Moore School of Business sent a film crew to New York in 2019 to film Cheslie sharing her thoughts on receiving the honor. I remember how humbled and excited she was when she told me about it. That's April saying she told her mom about it. You know, they were best friends. The gala was to be held in 2020, but was rescheduled due to COVID. Cheslie told the family that the event was rescheduled to March 31st of this year and invited the entire family to be in attendance. We were all there. David, Asa, both graduates of the University of South Carolina, accepted the award in her honor. Oh, that just breaks my heart. I mean, I know they were all there, but I could just imagine the pain of going there and just she's not there, and she was so happy to get this award. Ugh. I can't describe all the emotions I clicked through watching the video of Cheslie from 2019, because I think that what the beauty part is she knew about the award, and she was filmed before she died. They filmed it in New York and they played it at the ceremony. I heard the video of her, which is kind of amazing that she actually got to at least know about this. And she says, thank you. April says, thank you with heartfelt gratitude to everyone who put on that amazing gala. So let's look at some of the pictures of the family there. Hold on, guys. Let me pull them up really quick. Okay, here they are. Hold on. So here's the lovely pictures. April is always so stunning. So there is her younger brother there. There is the in-laws there, and then there's her husband. There's April, the mother, in the middle with the beautiful kind of burgundy red wine-colored dress. I believe that's her mother with the white dress on. That's April's mother, which would be Cheslie's grandmother on her mother's side, maternal grandmother. And then there's her siblings, her brother, her sister, and then there's her biological dad there. It's her biological dad on the end. So they all were there. Oh, so sad. Cheslie should have been there, you guys. Okay, there she is. April is just so gorgeous. Looks like a Barbie. So there's April with the wonderful wine color dress, and then there's her husband, and then there are the parents of the husband. So the in-laws. And there is Chandler, her younger brother, with her beautiful mother. Oh, she looks so beautiful at the gala. And then here is, you guys know who this is, Cheslie's sister, Paige. There's her brother, Asa, Chandler, and then lovely mother, April, in the middle. You guys already know who that is. And there is Mr. Simpkins there, her stepdad. And here was the slide showing that she was honored at this gala. So sad. She got the Distinguished Young Alumni Award winner. Aww. So sad. All right, so that's just an update on what's going on. So she was honored there just this past month. What gives me comfort, though, is just that she knew. Because, you know, a lot of times people are honored after they pass away. I mean, and this, you'll be like, man, I wish you would have gave them their flowers when they were alive, because they don't know now that they passed away. But the fact that she knew and they was able to film her in New York just gives me so much comfort and joy, because it felt like she got her flowers before she passed away, because she knew about this big honor she was going to get. And they didn't have to wait for her to pass away to get it, but she was already going to get it while she was alive. So that was just so beautiful that she got her flowers, I feel like. All right, so let's see. What do you think about Cheslie's mother being on Red Table Talk? Oh, yes, I've seen that. You know, I think people handle grief everyone handles it differently. And April is dealing very hard, very hard with the loss of Cheslie. This is, I can't even give you the right words how much pain April is in. It is just the worst pain anyone feels. And so I feel like table talk is her outlet and her way of discussing her pain. It is and I think that's a healthy thing. If she needs to go and talk about it on Red Table Talk, I have no problem with it. I think it's fine because it's her way of getting it out. It's a healthy way of getting it out. I know people are like, oh, she's trying to get attention on it. No, she needs some way of getting it out. And if she chose Red Table Talk as the way to do it, I'd say do it because she needs every way of discussing this that she can. I mean, yes, I hope she's getting a therapist, but if she wants to go on Table Talk and she's doing the Red Table Talk discussion, I think that's good. I think that's fine. Also, it'll help us because we get to at least hear from her because everyone wanted to hear what she had to say. So I'm totally on board with her doing Red Table Talk. Totally on them. She is so deserving of all accolades. Yes, she is Queen Bee. She was amazing. It still hurts so bad that she's gone. Today was very hard. I said earlier today in the live, it was a depressing day. I literally was fighting back tears working at work today. It was just, the whole day was difficult. An extremely hardworking, gorgeous young woman. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot for the family because they left picking up the pieces. I know they're all, oh. The most devastating part about self-conclusions is because the pain is so tormenting for the person that does it, they don't think about the consequences. They don't think about all the people they hurt. They don't think about family members, friends. They just think about, I need to get rid of this pain and torment that the enemy is deceiving, because the enemy is deceiving them. He clouds their judgment so much that all they care about is to relieve the distress, the pain, the depression. So it blocks out anything that they think about regarding family or consequences or who it's going to affect. They don't think about that. They're just like, I just want to get out of this. I just want to be free. They're not even thinking. So that's the sad thing about it is when they have these self-conclusions, all the people left behind, all the emptiness, all the questions left of what could I have done? How come I didn't see the signs? You know, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, I shouldn't have said that one word to her. Maybe that was what was the final straw. Like these people have to deal with these mental torments, and you can see it traumatically affecting her siblings. For example, Chandler. If you watch my video on Chandler, Chandler is definitely dealing with some mental health issues. I mean, based on that video, he with his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, whatever it was, and he had that outbreak. It's something going on mentally that he's struggling with. So the family is having a hard time. It is. And then also I saw Chandler's recent post on his saying that he's taking a mental break and just from online. So he's still struggling. And I guarantee you because of her birthday, that brought up even more emotional trauma for him because, you know, she's not here. She's not here on her special day. So that was hard for him too. So he, you know, acknowledged that he needed to take a mental break from online because of it. I would have performed Gail on the morning. Oh, I would have preferred Gail on the morning show. Oh, Benjamin, you're saying you would have preferred a different source versus Red Table Talk? You know, I don't care. I just feel like whatever Angel feels to get it out, if she felt comfortable with Red Table Talk, I'm not going to judge her on anything because I am not in her position. I didn't have to bury my child, my best friend. So I don't feel it's my place to judge anything, their choices that anyone is making when they lose I don't feel it's any of our positions to judge anyone's choice when they are dealing with a traumatic loss like this or trauma in any way. I just feel it's my place to respect whatever they decide and what their choices and just show whatever love and prayer I can give, you know. That's all I can do. So that's all I do when I see their posts. I just, you know, try to give an encouraging word to April or just, you know, that's all I can do. That's all we can do. And just show love and empathy because everyone handles grief differently. And I think that's something we struggle with in society is we always say what we would do or what we prefer. But we have to be more empathetic to what other people feel. Everyone handles grief differently. Everyone, you know, processes loss differently. Some people don't cry. Some people don't have a mourning period. Some people do. Some people, have certain violent outbreaks. It just, everybody's different. We just have to respect each person's way of processing their hurt. And I know Chesley meant so much to everybody. She was so precious. I mean, how could she not? She was so full of joy and love and bubbliness, and she lit up the whole room, lit up the whole social media with her posts. So it's like this dark gray over the world and over her family. So they lost a very special person, a very special soul. So this is not something that I would just say I respect whatever April chooses. If she wants to go on Oprah, I don't care. Whatever she needs to do that will make her feel happy and try to work through this pain, I will respect that and just pray for her. That's all I can do. That's all I can do, you guys. That's all of us can do. I despise the enemy. Chesley was, yes, she was very tormented, guys. Very tormented. If you're very familiar with the spirit realm and when you pray and you have a relationship with God, you can recognize the spirits. And Chesley was deceived by the enemy. Deception. He, one of the things he wants to is to get God's people to take their life. So he was working on her day and night. He was. It's very sad. And if she probably had some type of crack in her relationship with God where she wasn't praying as much anymore because she was so busy. She had this crazy schedule and probably just by the time she get home, she didn't have time to pray and read the word. She's probably like, I'm going to bed. So then you start having these cracks in your relationship with God and it becomes this huge big gap now. First it was a crack, then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger, bigger. And then now you're so separated from God, you don't hear him, you don't feel him spiritually. And now the enemy can now wreak havoc over your entire mind and just completely take control and torment you to the point where you get to a point where Chesley was saying, may this day bring me rest and peace, because she was done. As sad as it is. Ugh, I just wish she was still here. I wish she had friends there that could have been there for her. Yes, please just pray for her family. That's all we can do, you guys. It's not going to be, I don't think they will ever be the same. Okay? I don't think they will ever fully recover. I think they'll just learn how to cope, learn how to make it through. That's what I think. But I don't know. All I can say is just keep her in your prayers, guys. I want to wish a happy birthday to Chesley. Yeah, yes, 31 years. I didn't want to say this somber thing on her birthday, but one of the things she dreaded was her birthday. She didn't want her birthday to come. She didn't want 31 to come. So I was kind of conflicted. I was like, I don't know, should I celebrate her birthday? Because I know she didn't really want her birthday. But then I was thinking, no, I should celebrate her birthday. Because if Chesley had another chance to be on this earth, she would tell us to take care of our mental health. So I'm going to dedicate every year of her birthday, April 28th, to talk about mental health and the importance of our mental health in honor of her. And if I still have this crown, I'll try to wear it every year to just honor her, because I know Chesley would want that. Based upon how she lived in her life and based upon how she was with her friends and based upon when she learned from certain lessons, she always tried to help counsel her friends in those lessons she learned because she cared so much about them. So I know if she was alive today, she would be talking to us about the importance of that. So that's why I thought I'd come on here and do that. All right, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are blessed. I am here for you, whatever you need me. If you want to email me about anything, you can always email me at my email. Just go to my intro thing, guys. I'll put in the description what my email is because I don't think I have it memorized right now, but I'll put it in the description if you ever want to email me about anything. I also could just be there to listen to whatever you're going through and pray with you as well, because you just need a friend sometimes just to talk about the things you're dealing with. But don't feel ashamed if you're struggling. You are normal if you're having a bad day. We all struggle, you guys. All of us have issues. Even if people are all dressed up and dolled up and you think they have it all together, they don't. All the celebrities you see, Beyonce, Cardi B, all these people that have all this money, just because they have all these glamour and beauty and perfection, that doesn't bring happiness. And that's why people keep struggling with this Cheslie Kryst thing. Some of the people in my comments keep saying, there's more to this story than what is said. There isn't, guys. She self-concluded, okay? That is the truth. That's what happened. Okay, if it was anything other than that, there would have been an investigation. Like I said, there were video surveillance, there were witnesses, there was all that. They have the evidence. They did the work, footwork, and
went over all this stuff before in all my other videos. So you got to go back to the videos. But sadly, it was a self conclusion. And the sad part is, until you realize that and recognize that, you're not going to get closure. You're not. You're going to keep building these hypotheses in your mind that didn't happen. And you'll forever keep thinking of something that didn't happen. So you got to come to reality of what happened and learn from it, because Chesley would want us to learn. She would want us to learn because she would want us to live. She would want us to value our life here on this precious earth, because life is precious. Life is a gift, you guys. Each day that you wake up, it's a gift. It may not feel like that on certain hard days, but that hard day is not going to last forever. You have to know that. But once a person self concludes, that does last forever, and there's no going back. There's no way of changing the situation that you're dealing with if you make that traumatic choice. So there's ways that we can find other avenues to cope with mental health. That's why mental health maintenance is a daily practice. It's not something we do when we're having a very terrible like point in our life where we just can no longer bear. Because if you catch it, if it's too late, then it's really hard to get out of that black hole. Once you get really deep in depression, it's really hard. So that's why it's a daily thing that you're constantly working on. Also, speak affirmations over your life. Download the I Am app. If you don't know how to write affirmations out yet, you can download the I Am app, and it'll give you daily affirmations that you can say out loud all throughout the day, speaking that life, because the words that you say is very powerful. It does manifest energies into your life, what you say. So you want to be speaking positive things. You want to be speaking the word of God. You want to be renewing your mind with the word of God, because constantly the enemy is trying to pollute your mind with the different things out there, social media, the things people say, all the things that we go through on a daily basis, through the different struggles that we go through on a daily basis. But if you really love Chesley, then you would take care of your mental health. That would make her spirit happy. That is the way you can show love to her, is to take care of your mental health. All right. Love you guys. God bless you. Take care.